Hi everyone and welcome back to this gameplay of Rome Total War, the board game, and in this case we are doing a battle play using navies. So what we're saying in this case is that the Greek army here, which has an army attached to it as embarked as well, has 4 ships, but these are Biremes rolling the white die, whereas we have the Carthaginian army with an army navy with an army attached, and they have Triremes, means that they are rolling green die. Okay, and I just want to show you how that can create different outcomes in terms of the naval engagement. What we're also going to say is that the Greek army also has the naval development in play, which means that if we get two if we get 2 S's, then that leads to the capturing of a ship. So I'll keep that in mind as we're going forwards. But let's see how this difference in terms of the stage of the navies and also the number of ships that we have can create some really interesting dynamics. So we're saying that this is a Greek attack, so they are rolling 4 white die to begin with, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, so we've got our double S, and as I said, the Greek navy has the stealing ship, has the stealing ship attached. So one of these ships is going to go over to the Greeks. So we'll just turn that on its side just to remind us of that. They've also managed to land a wound, and the last one is blank. But in the meantime, the Carthaginians are going to get to launch their attack, which is 3 green die. Okay. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, and 2 blanks and 1 wound. So that roll has not gone very well at all. So what happens here is that the Greeks are taking this ship, and as we say, there isn't anything in the rules that says does it just immediately join and get to be part of the battle. Now I think that when a ship gets taken, essentially what happens is that the navy gets slaughtered, and the ship is going to be there and ready for you at the end of the battle if indeed you actually win it. That's the key thing. So I say that it just kind of gets put into a reserve at the side like that, but doesn't participate. But because a ship has been destroyed, it means that the Carthaginian army is then going to lose troops. So we've got 7 cards divided by 3 ships. So 7 divided by 3 equals 2 point something. Can't work out what the something is, but it doesn't matter because we always round up, which means that we're losing 3 battle cards. Let's see what they are. Iberian Spearmen, the Hispanic Sukari, and the Hispanic Cavalry. So those 3 have been destroyed right off the bat. And now we go back to the Greeks, who are rolling their 4 white die, and let's see what's going to happen. Okay, so 2 blanks and another stolen ship, just like that. Now the rules don't actually specify that if they're being used to steal a ship, does it also mean that you have the destruction of more army cards? And I think the answer is no. You use it for either one or the other. And instead of doing the army cards, and I think you get a choice in it, that instead of using the army cards, I think what we do is that we say that we're going to steal another ship. But you might make a different choice if, for example, the reason this battle is taking place is to intercept, to prevent this army from moving. You might want to destroy the army cards. But I think it's going to be great hilarity for us to go ahead and steal another ship. So as this ship is getting stolen, let's put it on its side just to represent that. Now what we have is we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards divided by 2, so that means gives us 2. And there goes Margot Barca. His ship has been stolen right now, along with the Sacred Band. So a great unit to be there defending him, makes absolutely not a jot of difference on the high seas. But before we go and move this over to this side, let's just remind ourselves that the Carthaginians still get to attack with 2 green die. And that's resulted in 1 S, so the destruction of an army card. The war elephants are gone, and then the wound. Now, as I say before, there is no incentive to separate your wounds across ships. Just put it onto the same ship. So that ship has been destroyed and is out of commission. Okay, however, we now have to place this ship over here, and it's 3 against 1. And we go back to the Greeks making their attack. So they're attacking with the white die. Let's see what happens, guys. All blanks. Hey, right, the Carthaginians have gotten away with it right now. At this stage, the Carthaginians don't have a navy that they can actually continue with. So really, the battle is already done, but I'm interested to see exactly what happens if we just keep going here. It's a blank, no good, no good. Back to the Greeks. More blank dice rolls, so that's what can definitely happen. Oh, look at that, they've gone and killed another ship, so we're going to get rid of a ship here. But at this stage, you actually wouldn't continue anyway, because you're down to a single ship, and that means that the whole navy has been decimated. So actually what we're going to do, we're just going to stop the battle just now before we do that, before I mislead you in how they're actually run. But that's what it can look like when it's really kind of contentious in terms of the way that the armies have been put together. I think that the marine development is absolutely fantastic mid-game development to get, but ultimately if you're going to go up against an opposition, you want to make sure that you've got at least as many ships as they do, and are at least have the same level of development as they have. Because what happened in this case is that the Biremes are much less developed, but it was 4 against 3, and in this case, in this particular case, it's led to the destruction of the Greek navy, but because it's of the Carthaginian navy, but because the Greeks also had the naval marine development, they've managed to take back ships. They've actually profited from this, okay? They've got 1 ship more, but it did cost them some more elephants, so you would have to consider that if you've got an army embarked. But if your army's not embarked and you've got that development and you're able to intercept, it's absolutely 100% the best thing to do, even if you're actually at one stage less in the development. So don't just look at it and go, oh, I'm less developed than they are, so I just count myself out. If you've got a larger navy and the marine development in play, you could definitely go toe-to-toe with them. So I hope that's taught you something about naval battles there. Thanks for watching. I think what we'll do next time is we'll go for a much bigger engagement and just have a lot of fun with it. All right, catch you later. Bye.